It is said that every 5,125 years, the Earth goes through a major upheaval. And these apparently go in a series of five, which make up the grand year, which coincides with the orbits of our Sun and Sirius A, giving the total of 25,650, approximately. Now, it is said that these ages come to an end by Earth, presumably earthquakes, volcanism, etc., fire, maybe an asteroid collision, water. Well, if the entire ice in the world did melt, then most of the land would be underwater. In fact, there is a time in Earth's history, a long, long time ago, when the entire surface of the Earth was water. But that's another story. You've got to go back 2-3 billion years to get to that point. And then there is, what have we got? Earth, water, fire, ice. Ice. Ice Age, there's been quite a few of those. We think we know all about those. We don't actually, but we think we do. And the last one is ether. Now, ether is the spiritual dimension. And that's what we're going through at the moment. The change from the age of materialism into the age of community. Now, what does that actually mean for you and for me? Well, one of the hallmarks of the age of materialism was power. Always somebody at the apex of the pyramid. The big boss, the chief, the king, the emperor, the CEO. They took control of most people's lives and used them mostly for their own personal aggrandizement. That is a hallmark of the last age, the age of materialism. The hallmark of this transition is the change from belief into knowledge. Now, there are a lot of people who think, because they've been taught that way, that belief and knowledge are pretty well the same thing. No, they're not. In fact, they often have absolutely nothing to do with each other. You can believe anything you like, but you can only know that which is real, that which is actually true. The Buddhists have a saying that the untrained mind will think 7,000 thoughts per minute, of which 1.5 are true. It's actually about right, although I've never actually counted them. And the point is this, that so long as you're in belief instead of in knowledge, you're very, very easy to manipulate, because you simply don't know whether your belief is true or not until it's much too late, until you experience the pain and the suffering and realize afterwards that what you've been put through is not for your advantage, protection, whatever, but for somebody else's addiction to power. And that's exactly what we're going through at the moment. Those who are addicted to power have created this last-ditch attempt to hold on to the previous age, to stop people moving from belief into knowing, so that they can retain the power that they've been used to. It's up to you whether you allow them to do it to you, or better said, whether you continue to allow them to do it to you, or whether you go with the change as it happens and move from belief into knowledge. And the way you do this is by moving the center of your life from your brain, or better say, your lesser brain, into your heart. Now, when you look at the world from here, you have no idea what's going on. All you can do is choose to believe or not to believe what somebody else says or does. Here is much more peaceful, because here you can only know, you can't believe. You can only know, and the hallmark of knowledge is reality. So when you look at the world from your heart eye, what you see is the real world. You see what's actually going on. So we have this situation at the moment where you can choose to believe the nonsense about a deadly disease running around the world, or you can look at it with your heart eye and see it isn't there. It isn't real. It's a total fantasy. Choosing to believe it change you to their need for power. Choosing to know makes you the one in charge of your life and assigns to you the right and the ability to change that which does not serve you. Everything that happens to you needs your permission. Nobody has the authority to assign someone above you to give you orders. That's a belief. It's not true. Each of us is created equal. Our life paths are different. That is true, but that is something that we plan. That's something that we decide. But our basic being essence is always the same. There is no upper and lower. There is no balancing. There is only that which is. And as soon as you realign yourself with that which is, you stop being a victim. But if you continue to believe that someone has the power over you, then you acquiesce. That is, you sacrifice yourself, your life, to their whims and fancies. And what do you get in return? More suffering. That's the lesson that history teaches us all the way through. Every king, every emperor that went to war so that he, or in some cases she, would have more land. Who paid for it? Well, you did. I did. The people who believed that the whims and fancies of the king or the empress or whatever must be followed. that there is no alternative. There is. There's a saying which has been going around for a few decades now. Let me remind you. What would happen if war was declared and nobody went? See the difference? If you do not believe, that is, if you cease to believe and start to know, you don't go to war. Because you know that it doesn't serve anybody. Not even those who think that you should go to war for them. That's the reality of it. Then look at your normal life, just to give you an inkling, and it really is only an inkling. When you are at home, or you go for an outing, or you have a party, does someone give you orders about how everything is to be for you? Exactly what you are compelled to do? Or do you cooperate and agree? Which works best? Just follow that truth, that knowing, and live that example. Cooperate, agree. There's no need for any dictators. You don't need to be a dictator either. You just need to be happy. And you're happiest when you are in agreement and cooperating. This is the new form. Cooperation instead of domination. Not only for your personal knowledge, but also for the whole world. I mean, these people who are in power at the moment, this tiny, tiny number, it only works for them if you continue to govern your life from belief. The instant you move to knowledge, you stop following their orders automatically. Because you know they're not based in truth. They're nothing to do with reality. They're not why you are here. They're not what you are existing for. Nothing there is real. It's a whole fantasy that we've lived through to discover what absolute nonsense it is. And now we begin a new, very, very fruitful time in knowledge. The Messiah series on YouTube is a series of lessons that teach you initially how to move your center of being from this second brain to your heart, and how to stay there, how to live there, how to be there, how to open your heart eye so that you can see. So do it. Show the example. And when others ask you, how did you do that? Tell them. If you know how to do it, download the videos. Because at some point it's quite likely that Google will delete them. They are, after all, a part of this clique who want to dominate and control you. Which is why they've deleted so many videos. Quite a few of mine have just disappeared. So we're looking at ways of getting around that. We've found some already, but there's some better ones on the way. Anyway, I'll just leave you with that for today. Think about it absorb it, be it. Thank you. Namaste.